So we're going to work on the zipper placket. This is not included in the pattern, and it's simply because I prefer to have a zipper closure on the top of the bag as opposed to a magnetic closure. I just think this will keep the contents of the bag a little bit more secure. It is a smaller zipper placket than you might anticipate for this bag, but that's because when the bag is snapped together, it's actually quite smaller on top, and we don't want this to get in the way of that. So for the most part, you're going to want to keep the bag, I guess, snapped together if you want to take advantage of this feature. So let's talk about the zipper tape. So this is continuous zipper tape. I get this this particular tape from Yahoga on Amazon. I think it's like $15 for 10 yards or something like that. It's very affordable. A lot of people have challenges putting the zipper heads on, so let's just tackle that head on here. So we're going to just take a length of tape. This is longer than you need for the pattern, but I had done that so that we can easily top stitch, and then we can save whatever we cut off for a zipper, or you can have a long tail if you want it. So we're going to, first of all, just take apart some of the teeth like so. This should be a pretty clean finish on the top. I'll give it a little bit of a haircut. Like so. And we're going to take our zipper pull. This is a beautiful handcrafted pull from Bags by Cat. And we're going to put the left hand zipper tape into the left hand channel of the zipper pull. And then we're going to open this up a little bit more, and we're going to put that in on the right side. And all you want to do is put both tape into the channel, and you're going to look inside the channel to see that they are in there evenly. Now, I know you probably can't see that, but just trust me. So you want to adjust the tape so that they are in there evenly. They don't need to be at the very top of the channel, but in there evenly. And then you're going to put it on your flat work surface, and you're just going to give it a pull with 2 fingers holding it down. Simple. Yeah. Your zipper's attached. Isn't that easy? Da, 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 da. I'll do it once more so you can see it once more. Okay. So I'm going to trim this edge so it's nice and even. Split it open like so. Take your zipper pull. Put the left hand side on first. And put the right hand side in. Look inside the channel and ensure that the tapes are even. Doesn't matter how far up they are, but they need to be in there evenly. Like so. Put your tape on a flat surface. Put your 2 fingers here and pull. And that's it. Now you have a beautiful, hopefully, zipper. Okay, so once you have done that, a few dozen or 100 times, you will have mastered putting on a zipper pull. So again, it's going to be very pretty. This is going to be shown on the top of the bag. All right, so the next thing we want to do is kind of get the zipper prepped for this particular bag, and this how I do my zipper plackets. So take a little ruler, and you want to get a marking pen. This is a white pencil, and just mark about 1.5 inches over. Make sure it's even, and you're going to mark a line. Like so. It's important that the lines are exactly across from each other. They need to be exact, or you won't have an even placket. Okay, and then let me get some pins. Some pins here. And that cute little pin cushion that Tracy Cronin made me. All right, so we're going to take a pen. All you're going to do is you're going to fold this tape back on this line, and then to the back of the tape at a 45-degree angle. And then you're going to pop a pin in there to hold it in place. And then you're going to repeat for this side. Fold it down, fold it back on top of itself at a 45-degree angle. Make sure you are exactly on that line as you did the other side. put a pin in there to hold it in place. And it's that simple. I like to have a little bit extra wings hanging out, and then I cut it later on. But you can see, it's even. Can you see that? And that's what's critical, is that your butterfly, I call it the butterfly wings, are even up here. Okay? So you're going to go to your sewing machine and simply stitch from like here on the outside, here to here, and then on the outside of this one, here to here, just to secure that in place, and then you can remove the pins. But I won't show you that. You can figure out how to sew 2 little lines, right? Okay, so now we have our zipper tape ready to go. Next, we're going to work on the facing pieces, or not the facing, well, they are facing, zipper facings, but a little bit different for the recessed zipper. So we have 4 pieces here, and 2 of the center pieces have some Decavol fused to them, and that is because we want this to be a very, again, stable and sturdy feature of our bag. So I always add Decavol to 2 pieces of my zipper facings, and I like to add it to the lining as well. I mean, on the top. I think I showed you that already. We're going to put 1/4 inch double-sided tape on each of these ends, only one end, the right-hand side, and fold it back. I want to show you, I have these marked. If you can see these 2 pieces, there's a little bit more wider area right here. So those are going to be the bottom of the placket, zipper placket, and then these 2 sides here, each will be encased with a zipper. So there's room for the zipper tape without hitting the Decavol. So let's go ahead and put some 1 inch double-sided tape on the edge of each of these. If you didn't make it exact, you can trim it later on. Just going to the edge. So sticky. And one more. Let's trim off the little excess double-sided tape. So all we're going to do is peel off the tape and fold it over exactly that 1/4 inch that you just had the glue on, the double-sided tape. Just do that for all 4 of them. So that looks like this. I love making zipper plackets. I know that sounds odd, but I just like how finished they make the bag look. And it's just a cool thing, and they're fun to make too. Okay, so we're folding it over exactly 1/4 inch. That's it. So you can use your finger press to get a nice solid seam. Make sure they look nice. And we are ready to start adding our zipper to the placket pieces. So I'm going to go sew the zipper wings down. I'll come back and we'll show you how to get this going. Okay? So I sewed my little zipper wings down so the pins can be removed. Looks like so. You can't see it, of course. And what we're going to do is take a marking pen and mark about, not about, 3/8 of an inch. Just so you have a starting point to look at. we are marking on the back, the bottom piece, if you will. And if you remember now, we have this little edge that has the room for the zipper tape. And we're going to put our zipper tape face up, get some clips, and we are simply going to align the edge of the tape just with some clips at that 3/8 of an inch mark. And we're going to put our tape all the way down to the bottom of that, where we folded that tape in. So, and just the little wing here, just kind of imagine that it's not there, and you know, you have a flush edge where that starts and stops. So just, we'll be cutting it off later on. So that's how that should look, simply like that. Now we're going to go to the sewing machine, and we're going to sew this on with an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance, and then we're going to take the top piece, one of the top pieces that doesn't have the Decaville light, and we're going to put it right on top of here, and we're going to match up. I like to match up the ends on the bottom first and then go to the top. They should match up, but if they don't, it's more important that the bottom edges are even, because they're going to be folded back upon themselves. So let me go. I'm going to sew this, and I'll sew this on top and show you one, and then we'll sew one together. But I'll go ahead and do the first one. Did you miss me? All right, so here we are. The first side of the zipper placket attached. All we've done is, after we basted the first piece on the bottom, then we go 1/4 of an inch across the top, pivot, and go down to the bottom, stopping at the end of the placket. Now we can trim off this excess tape, get it out of the seam allowance, and we're going to trim the corner here, just so we can have a nice turning point. Maybe take a little bit off here, but not much. And with my trusty pokey tool, which I don't have, get your pokey tool. This is actually a chopstick. I love chopsticks for pokey tools. And we're going to turn the zipper placket wrong sides together, gently poking out the zipper tape on top. Use your pokey tool to get it there nicely. It should be a fairly flat square seam on the top. I'll show you, like so. So that's gonna look nice. So if you want now, just to keep it out of the way, you can take some clips, hold it together, put the bottoms together. It's going to be a nice looking zipper placket. So next we take our other side. So now we're going to attach the other side of the tape to the other placket. And we start with the bottom, and we simply, with our 3/8 of an inch mark, put the tape there and visualize that that little wing up top is straight ahead. And we're just going to clip down the end, like so. We're going to go to the sewing machine, and we're going to sew this with the 1/8 of an inch stitch. Then we're going to put the top piece on top, and we're going to stitch that 1/4 of an inch, like so. So we'll go to the sewing machine and do that, and then I will show you how we turn the placket, and then we will do some top stitching, and then our placket will be done. So I'll meet you at the sewing machine. So we're going to finish the other side of our recessed zipper placket. It has so many different names. So we've already sewn one side, and what we're going to do is we've already attached the zipper with our clips, and we're going to sew with an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance, which is this perfect zipper foot from the edge to the edge. So I love this foot. If you can get one, get one. Make sure the zipper tape is lined up with the edge of the vinyl. Remember the little wing part here, if you can see it, should be flush with the seam. So just pretend that it's at a 45-degree angle. And sew up to the tape and back stitch. Then we're going to take, let me cut these threads away. Now we're going to take the top piece, and we're going to put these right sides together. We want to align the edges, the bottom edges first, perfectly. Put a clip in that, then come up to the top and align that edge. And then just go ahead and clip all the way down. Like so. So we're going to sew with about a 1/4 inch seam allowance. You're going to come in 1/4 inch here, stop at the 1/4 inch pivot, and then go down. And you have a 1/8 of an inch seam allowance from the first time that we sewed, so you can just basically put your foot right next to that as a guide. But also your teeth will be a guide too. But it is a 1/4 inch, should be precise, so better to have a measurement than a guide. So I'm going to start sewing with a 1/4 inch. You'll want to start and back stitch. Make sure your needle is down. I have a needle positioner, so the needle is always down when I stop sewing, which is a great feature. And I'm using my previous stitch as a guideline, but I can also feel that my teeth are right there. If you get in the habit of having these precise stitch lines, your zippers will not be wavy. They're not going to be doing anything to cause you grief, as much as they'd like to. Just sew to the end of the bottom. Give her a haircut. So it's just a simple 1/4 inch down. Now we're going to cut off this little excess wing tape, and we're going to cut it at corner at an angle here, and maybe trim a little bit off here, but not too much. And then we're going to gently turn her wrong sides together, gently poke out that little corner right there. Use your pokey tool, chopstick. Don't use anything too sharp because you don't want to poke your pokey through. That looks good. And then, if you like, you can do a couple of clips to line it all up. And we are on the verge of having a beautiful zipper placket. I'll show you. Isn't that going to just be stunning? Now, of course, I mentioned we have a lot of excess tape here because when we turn the bag, we want to be able to unzip this all the way, have it be wide open, You could easily just cut it to the shorter length and take your pull off and then put it back on, but most people don't really enjoy doing that process. And I don't blame you. So the next step is, now we want to smooth out our, do a really good, press it away. Since it's vinyl, we can't press it, so finger press it away really good. And we're going to top stitch. So I'm going to pause the video and change my foot, and we'll come back and finish up our recessed zipper. Okay, so I have put the 1/8 of an inch Teflon foot back on the machine, and we're going to start stitching from the side down the zipper to the other side. I can tell by my presser foot that it's a little bit at an angle, which means it could possibly jam or not, not so nicely. So I've increased my stitch length to 5. I'm gonna sink the needle in, and I'm gonna put the hump jumper. So even industrial machines need a hump jumper on occasion, just to help them get going. And when you do the hump jumper, your machine will kind of just glide through the process. Let's see if I have to eat my words. Okay, and you might need to unzip this so we can get to that. And you're kind of eyeballing it, and you're gonna flip it. You want your foot to be right against the edge of there. And again, it's uneven, so we're gonna put our hump jumper there to give it a little bit of help to go. And now you want to carefully pull the two vinyls so that they're still together, but keep it at top. I'm sure my fingers are in the way, but we do the best we can do. Get to the end. And we're going to pivot. Put our hump jumper back on. And this one has a, one side is thicker, one side's thinner, so, and she has been well loved, huh? I love these things. Okay, now we're coming down to the other side, ensuring that these are matched up. And we are halfway done. Okay, and now we're going to get our haircut. Now we'll do the other side. This time, I think we're going to start from the bottom so that our foot is going the correct direction. So, make sure that they are nicely together. Always put your threads behind you. Not behind you, behind the machine. Sink your needle. Get your hump jumper, your friend. And so, a couple stitches. Back stitch. Go forward. Let your hump jumper fly around. Actually, I think I'm going to keep using him for a little bit more. You just want to be able to get past that one little thick area. And then we'll give it a pivot. We can use one more stitch. Now we can go. And then we're just pulling it apart. All the way to the top. It's a little bit bulky there, So let's give her a hand. Give it a pivot. A little bit of a helping hand. Maybe she doesn't need it, but I don't want to find out the hard way. And that, my friends, is a beautiful recessed zipper, or the making of it. Now, if you want to, you can base this edge together. I don't know. I guess I'll do it just for good measure. But you are going to ultimately encase this into a seam. So let's give it a good, just a quick little baste. Definitely want to keep it at 1/8 of an inch, no wider, so that it won't show when you put it through attach it to the lining. Okay. So she is done. And the sides are basted, and now it's just a question of us attaching this to the lining, and then she will sit in the bag like so, instead of having a snap to keep her closed up. So that's your beautiful recessed zipper. Once you do them a few times, you will just enjoy doing them. They're fun, and they even look nice from the backside too. All right, making progress.